Hello everyone, welcome to another video of DCUO Online. Today guys, I'll be dropping that fire tank tutorial for you guys. I also recently dropped that fire barrel tank tutorial, so you guys can go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description, and also at the end of this video, check the end screen. You can just click on it and it'll take you straight to that fire barrel tank tutorial. With that being said guys, I'm now going to move on with this tutorial and guide. You guys stay tuned. Alright guys, starting off here with, I'm going to show you guys the equipment and the mods real quick. Well, the gear and mods. So, as I see, the absorption adapter. That's going to give us a shield when we do weapon attacks. Like you can read it and see. So let me show you guys real quick. If you're new to DC, you know, this is what it does when you do your weapon attacks. But everybody should know this. This is basic. Basics 101 tank in here. So we do a weapon, like you get that shield from the absorption adapter. Then the neck mod. Let me go to the head first. Supercharge dash attack. If you're flight, you could use supercharge dust off. And if you're acrobatic, you could use perfect poise. Or if you don't want to use a supercharge, it's up to you. You could put something else, you know. But this is what I use here. For the neck mod, it's not escalating mind. Let me change that real quick. I don't need DPS, so that's omnipotence neck. So let me just change this here and change it. It's supposed to be this one here. And let me keep the mods in my inventory so I can always change it. Fortified assault. That's the one I have to fear. That's the one I need to put in here. So let's put it in here, show you guys. So you get defense while not blocking. As you can see there, you can read it and see. So moving on here to the back, I'm going to put this back. We have accelerated burnout, reduce the cooldown fire burnout by 10%. Very useful for the group breakout, going to heal us, and also for the passive ability Superman ally. I'll explain later on. The chest mod here, we're going to have hearty, increase the health by 5%. The legs, we're going to have that restorative flash one, for battle tanking. The feet, tumbling master. And the hands going to be max damage for also for battle tanking. Alright guys, moving on to utility belt now. So we have here the supply drop, magic supply drop there. Dampen fields, give us that shield. Little shield. Orbital. Chronometric emitter is going to be standard odds. Then we have our bottle CD soda that gives us a shield when you pop it. You can read there and see as a tank. Give us a little shield there, you know, invisible shield. Alright guys, jump in the artifacts here. Let me talk about the Lazarus pit water real quick. Revive, you can use revive to rally yourself once every 5 minutes. Rage of Lazarus, when health falls below 1, become unable to become knocked out for 12 seconds. If you are not restored back to full health at least once before this effect expires, become knocked out. While this effect is active, decrease incoming healing by 50%, cooldown 300 seconds, which is actually 5 minutes. Dregs of the pit, upon becoming knocked out, release a small amount of Lazarus pit water that restores up to 50% HP upon moving through the field. I'll show you guys this, you know, in the ending. I'll be showing the different aspects of the artifacts and stuff, so I'll show you guys how this actually works. So moving on here now to the manacles of force here. So the manacles of force, capable of blunting the strongest attacks. These manacles put you into an unshakable state for 5 seconds when an attack damages you for at least 30% of your health. Absorb 50% of incoming damage and reapplies it over the next 5 seconds. Cooldown 45 seconds. When unshakable triggers, the fallen ability cooldowns are reset. That means your main shield has a tank density for atomic, gemstone shield for earth, immolation for fire, redirected rage for rage, and winter ward for ice. All shield cooldowns are reduced by 10%. Yeah, so you know, it blunt the, you know, the hard attacks, you know, the big attacks the bosses normally do, like those that can nearly one-shot you. It blunt those big attacks and also reset your shield sometime. When the manacle procs, you're going to see that golden little braces on your hand. With that being said, now let me just move on here and talk about a little bit about the mystic symbol of the 7. So the mystic symbol of the 7. Protection of the 7. The powers of the symbol embolden the user, granting them the following bonuses. When hit by an enemy, increases defense by 5% for each enemy within 5 yards, maximum 20%. So the more enemies you have, you can get your defense up to a max of 20% buff. So the more enemies, the more adds, you're going to increase that defense. Also, increase healing by 10%. Regenerate a small amount of health based on restoration each time you are struck by an enemy, 0.25 second cooldown. So the more restoration you have, so if you spec into restoration, you're going to be getting more heals. I've actually already tested this, to see if I get more heals with specking with more restoration, you get a little more heals. So with that being said, guys, now I'm going to move on to the Everyman prototype. Let's get to the Everyman prototype real quick. Let me read that for you guys here. Alright guys, Everyman prototype. Genetic adaptation. Genetic alterations cause your skin to harden when your life is threatened, giving you defense equal to percentage of your max health value when your health gets low. Let me read the health range bonuses for you guys here. 71 to 51% gain 4% of max health converted to defense. 50 to 31% gain 9% of max health converted to defense. And 30% or lower gain 12% of max health converted to defense. I explained this more in detail in my other video, my defense buff video, when I demonstrate how you can buff your defense as a fire tank. You guys, if you guys want, you guys could check that out. I have a link in the description. I also have it in the end screen of this video. So you guys could check that out if you guys want to see more detail about it. But I'll explain a little bit about it here. So basically, the more health you have, so fire tanks and rage tanks going to benefit from the Everyman prototype. They get the most benefit out of it because they have a lot of health, like base health. So the more health you have, that health is going to be converted into defense when your health drops. So that's it about there for the Everyman prototype. Guys, that's about it for artifacts. The main ones, those are the 4 main ones you're going to use. You're going to use the mystic symbol for the adds, and you use the Everyman prototype for the bosses. If but like one boss only, you could use the Everyman prototype. It's beneficial, like survival mode and stuff. But you could also use it for adds also, but the mystic is better to use for adds because it heals you also. So the artifacts you're going to be swapping, I'll come to that just now. Alright guys, these are the artifacts you're going to be swapping here. The Decking Scepter for the damage, Eye of Gemini for the supercharge and health regeneration, Mystic Symbol of the 7 for the adds if you have it, the Clarion if you want to do a shield build and healing the group and stuff, and the shield for the group. But the Mystic Symbol, you switch it out with the Everyman prototype, back and forth, depending on the situation, if there's adds or, as I said before, if there's bosses. So those are artifacts. It's up to you to get those extra artifacts. Artifacts are very hard. It costs a lot to level up, if you have to pay for them. But if you look at some of my videos, I never paid for any of my artifacts. I'm 100% telling you guys the truth here, guys. Never paid for any of my artifacts. I have grinded all my artifacts and got them to where they have been. But I've been playing the game for a while now. I'll make a video maybe sometime in the future and show you guys how you don't necessarily need to pay to win. You could actually farm and get your artifacts up and your allies and up and stuff, just by farming. It could take you about 2 to 3 months, but it's worth it if you want to save that money. It's up to you. Well, I'm going to really backtrack from what I'm actually doing right now, which is the fire tank. I'll explain that later on. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, let me continue on here. Alright guys, moving on here to the augments. I'm using a dominating augments for the origin ones, and unfortunately I just have the might ones for the adaptive, because I didn't level up the tank ones. Let me show you guys real quick here. These are the tank ones here. They're not maxed out yet, but I'm not really gonna max them out. The might ones work perfectly fine for me. That's just me. If you want to get a dominance one, it's up to you. You You could invest and get those dominance one. It's up to you. So now I'll be moving on to the allies, guys. Talk a little bit about the allies. So moving on to the allies here, we have, well, I like to use Queen Diana. That's just my preference. Sometimes I switch it out, depending on the situation. You can use Queen Diana, or you could use Nubia for the extra heals. It's up to you. Or you could use a House of Legend bots for that extra damage on the bosses. Help the DPS out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to you. The House of Legend bots is cheap to get, You don't really need Nubia. That's the healer's job to heal you, But Nubia helps out with the heals, depending on what you're doing. But House of Legend bots, you could get that. The support ally, Future Lex Luthor, is very good. That Exobyte Overdrive passive ability is very, very good, guys. I did a video on that. You can check that video out. I'll leave a link in the description, also in the entrance video. I did a video on the buffing your defense as a tank. You could check it out. I did more, explain it out a little more in detail about the Future Lex Luthor support ability, Exobyte Overdrive. And also Superman is one of the, he's a really good ally for that shield, for the group shield with that group breakout. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to move on now with the spec, how I spec my weapons. One-handed, just get one skill point in that. And, I like to get a rifle in case I was switch weapons. And I also get like one skill point in shield also, if I switch in weapons, depending on what I'm doing. You don't have to get those. You can just get whatever weapon you use with one skill point, and it's up to you. But I have a lot of skill points, so I invest in my skill points wisely because I change my weapons and stuff a lot, depending on what I'm tanking. So we're moving on here to the super speed tree. You want to get that speed force there, and you want to get all your innates, depending on what power you are. Get all your innates. I use all those innates. It's really good, prevent you from getting stunning a lot, and then you recover power and stuff. And then we have phase dodge there, as you can see there. Metabolic boost for UG spam, and speed drain also for UG spam. And then I have dash attack. So I switch out the moves depending on the situation. Iconic tree now. Amazonian deflection, depending on what I'm doing, I switch out that move. Mesmerize and lasso, I switch out also. Hard light shield, well, that's gonna be in my loadout. And pheromone bloom for supercharge spam, depending on what I'm doing, and also for healing myself. It depends. I switch out those moves depending on the raid. Every raid different situations. So those are the iconic powers there in iconic trees. Those are the ones you want to get. As you can see there, take a quick look. Well, you don't have to get all of the other skill points, up to you. So moving on now to the skill points, we're going to focus hybrid. Get those extra dominance, 5% dominance, restoration, vitality, and also 10% might, as you can see there. So you get those bonuses for that. That's going to help out a lot. And then you want to do the critical healing chance, max out that. You max out healing magnitude, as you can see there. And I like to go dominance, max to my dominance, because I don't like to get juggled from ads. And health, you can put some in health, and you could put some in restoration. Also, the restoration and dominance combined together, gonna help out with your shield strength and also help out with your healing. Let me show you guys this real quick here. Scroll along here. Well, I'm going restoration first. So I can read there, you see, restoration is combined with dominance to determine the potency of healing and shield abilities. And you guys see the shield base multiplier and stuff there. Same thing with dominance here. So that helps out a lot with fire. Not all powers you could spec like this with dominance and restoration. It depends on the power. Some tanks do not heal with restoration and stuff. They don't heal with that restoration. Having a lot of restoration like rage and stuff. Yeah, but this is fire I'm talking about. So, you know, this is the spec here that I use that works for me. You know, you could try other things he thought works for you with the health and the restoration. Some people spec and health and restoration is up to them. But this is what works for me. You know, I've tested other ones and I prefer this one, this setup. So now guys, let me show you guys the loadout real quick. Moving on to the loadouts here. So immolation gonna be a main shield, applies the PI burning and mitigates some of the damage there, as you guys see there. Then we got burnout, which is gonna be a group breakout, gonna heal me, and also gonna be used with that Superman ally for that group shield. Then hard light shield. Then we got engulf, that's gonna be a range pull, also activate that PI, that burning effect. That way backdraft is gonna be a 360 pull and also heal, gonna heal you. And then we got dash attack or whatever movement you are, you know, use perfect poise for acrobatics and dust off for flight. Or if you don't want to use a supercharge, guys, you could use stoke flames for the extra heals. You know, it's up to you, it's your preference. You know, I'll show you guys in a few how I do that. So let's move on and show you guys the loadout and stuff. So immolation is gonna be clipped with burnout. You can see I just did it there. To, you know, you get that group shield, also you get your main shield, and the shields is gonna stack on each other. That is a little stronger and it mitigates a little more damage. You guys can see the effect there. And you could also, you know, since the burnout shield lasts very long, you could hit your hard light shield also with it, depending on the situation, if you know, tanking a lot of odds and stuff. Clip it again, engulf puts the burn in, and backdraft gives you that double heal, and also immolation applies the burning on odds also. And I'll show you guys the backdraft heals in, you know, a little later on. So swapping artifacts here, let me show you guys real quick here. Swap the artifact, hit the EOG, get the benefits from that green circle there. When it runs out, you switch artifact again, that King Scepter, hit the orbital, switch back to artifact, the Everyman prototype, depending on what you're doing, if it's bosses or whatever. I'll show you guys real quick. Say you're tanking a boss only. Let me switch my loadout real quick here too. So you're gonna put the mesmerize and lasso. That's gonna be a taunt. And you could also use phase dodge if you're super speed. That way it could prevent some damage. For example, if you're tanking a boss only, I said before, use a mesmerize, lasso the taunt, and grab that aggro and put it away from the other tank, who's gonna be most likely tanking the adds or other bosses. That way the group could just focus on that one boss and kill the boss. Also phase dodge here, prevent some damage. Just show you guys here. You could even switch out the loader further. So you don't want to use dash attack, as I said before. Use stoke flames. If you're not using Eye of Gemini, you could use, you know, stoke flames instead for extra heals. Alright guys, with that being said, let me talk a little bit about the clarion artifact. Let me just switch out the stoke flames here real quick. Put that weapon buff on. You need a weapon buff, which is fairy weapon. So, and to use it, you know, with the clarion artifact. I'll show you guys real quick. Let me just read this artifact for you guys before I start off here, so you guys have an idea. So the clarion. Let me talk about the restorative melody first. Using the power of the clarion, executing weapon attacks, heals up to 4 nearby players with the lowest health for 7% of a priority heal. This effect is temporary empowered when activating your weapon buff, 30% of a priority heal. So basically what it's saying here is you're going to be healing up to 4 nearby players, including yourself, 7% of a normal priority heal, which a healer would normally do. And when you do a weapon attack, you get like 30% of priority heals a healer normally do. Sorry. The Clarion's Guard now. When you are empowered by weapon buff, targets above 95% healed by restorative melody, you receive a shield for 12 seconds. This shield effectiveness is increased by 100%, sorry. Players can only benefit from this once every 30 seconds, so there's a cooldown on this. Cooldown on artifact, so you gotta wait every 30 seconds. So I'll show you guys, I will talk about Iron Smite too much. I'll show you guys this here real quick, demonstrate a little bit and talk about it. Alright guys, to use this, hit fairy weapon, which is the weapon buff. Then you attack with your weapon and you get the shield, as you can see there. That's the shield there. So there's a 30-second, so I can't really go spam it again. I gotta wait around 30 seconds, it's not gonna work. So let me see, test it real quick here. See, it's not proccing because 30 seconds haven't passed yet. So maybe I can hit it now and it should proc here. So that's the shield there. 30-second cooldown. I just want to say, Highlight Shield overrides that shield, the Clarion artifact shield. So if you hit a Highlight Shield, it's going to override your shield. Also, healers, right? Healers shield override the Clarion shield. I think they need to fix that. You know what I'm saying? They should make it like Highlight Shield. You see, before in the past, if you guys remembered, when tanks used to tank before, like when I used to be tanking, Highlight Shield used to get overridden by Healer's Shield, and they fixed it. Same thing with the artifact. I think, a Healer's Shield shouldn't override the Clarion Shield, because it makes no sense. You have an artifact and then all of a sudden the Healer's Shield overrides it. What's the sense of that? Right? You put in 8 shields on the group, right? And if the healer put a shield, it takes off your shield and your shield is stronger. Also, for example, a healer put a shield on 4 people and you want to hit the Clarion, the weapon buff to get the shield on 8 people, you're not gonna get that shield because you already have the healer shield. So it's not, your Clarion shield is not gonna override, that healer shield. I'm gonna do a video on this and show you guys. They need to fix it. I think they need to tweak it a little bit, the artifact. That way you get to benefit from the artifact. The artifact is like a lot to level up, get to rank 200. You know what I'm saying? It's not working I think it's not working how it should be working. That's my opinion. Because you want to get it for the shield. Say you're using fast shield setup as a tank, and a healer hits. I'll actually show this in a video. Yeah, but a healer, put a shield in a group and 4 people get the shield, but you activate your weapon buff and, the other players don't get the shield because, it can't override the healer shield. It should be able to override, like the hard eye shield. But that's my opinion, guys. I have to, maybe put something in the forum or something, a discussion or something about it. Maybe they could tweak that artifact later on, but that's a different video. Continuing here now with the testing. I'll be testing the Clarion shield here real quick. So, show you guys here. Clarion is there. I'm just showing the shield and maybe the heals from it. Remember, health gotta be 100%, no, 95%, I think. Yeah, for that shield to activate. If your health is low, the shield's not gonna activate when you do your weapon attack. So, health gotta be like 95%, I think they said. Yeah. So that's the shield there, you guys can see. Shield broke or ran out. So the heal I'm testing here now. So you get some heals. Let me use backtrack. I'll put the heal back on myself. You get some heals, you know, by doing a weapon buff also. It buffs the healing. By doing a weapon attack, as you can see there. I have to experiment a little more with this artifact and see what the potential I could get with. Maybe I'll do some stuff. I'll build with staff and stuff and see the, because the staff have some combos, you get a lot of hits, so I'll be healing back and you know, tanking with ads and stuff. But you get a little bit of heals from it, and you get the shield as I showed before earlier, you know. I think they really need to fix it, because hard light shield overriding. My hard light shield overrides that shield. The hard light shield could override, because, you know, I think that I could say like that, because, but the healer shield overriding that clarion artifact, that need to be fixed, you know, because what's the sense of having an artifact and you can't use it? They don't even say that in the description of the artifact. If a healer shield is present, you can't, you know, you can't use it. You know, you should be able to use the shield. You know, you'll be able to use a weapon buff and get that shield on the group. I have to make a video on this. Definitely gotta make a video on this. But yeah, guys, I'm showing you guys here, you know, demonstrate on this bounty here, the shield. Also, you can't stack dampened fields with that clarion artifact shield. It's not gonna work. The only thing overrides that shield is the hard light shield and the healer shield as I said before. You could stack the immolation and the group breakout Superman shield with that clarion shield. You could have 3 shields on, you know, which that's, you know, if you're in survival mode or something and you want those extra shields, the shield strength, because those boss hit really hard in survival mode. Or you do need elite and, you know, the boss breaking his shields and stuff. But yeah, so that's me testing there, testing the healing and stuff here with the clarion a little bit, testing to show you guys. Ice, maybe I'll do a video on ice later on to show the clarion and more in depth, you know, healing from the clarion with the ice build. Because fire heals so much, fire alone heals so much, man. And backdraft with the engulf and backdraft. Alright guys, let me go over here now and show you guys. Alright guys, so I'm gonna show you guys how you get double heals from backdraft. So the enemies are not burning. Backdraft, we're gonna get 1 heal there, 1 tick. Enemies are burning now on fire, get 2 ticks, as you can see there. Just got 1 tick there, 2 ticks when they're burning, and 1 tick when they're not burning. So as you can see right now, guys, I'm taking a lot of damage from ads. Put the mystic on now. See, I'm healing back now. Heal back to full. If you guys want to see more in depth of the mystic, you know, I had an old video on this. I tested it, so you guys can check that video out on my tank videos. I'll maybe put the link in the description. I'll put it in the end screen video so you can check it out. The testing of the everyman prototype, I already did videos on this, and my recent video with buffing my defense, you know, you could actually look at that if you want. Also have that in the link in the description, also at the end screen video, so you can check that out. So I want to really test the everyman prototype here. I see all the healing I'm getting there. So yeah guys, now I'll be testing that Lazarus spit water artifact. You get 3 abilities from this, the revive ability, where you can revive yourself once every 5 minutes, so nobody needs to revive you and you can just pick yourself up. Rage of Lazarus, when health falls below 1, become unable to get knocked out for 12 seconds. I'm going to test that also. You get nerfed for the healing, it's 50%. Income healing is 50% reduced. And also, if you get healed within 12 seconds, you're going to die. But you're going to have like immune to damage and stuff for 12 seconds. And I'm also going to test Dregs of the Pit. When you get knocked out and you pick up yourself, you get a 50% HP upon moving through that green field. I'll show you guys that later on. So let's just test the first one. I'm going to be testing first, the Rage of Lazarus. I'm about to die here. You see they get that green little looking material on you. That's how you know the effect there. I'm immune to damage for a while. I need to heal myself up real quick to 100%. Otherwise I'm going to get one-shotted. So that was the first effect of the Lazarus Pit there. That was revive. Not revive, sorry. Rage of Lazarus. So the second one I'm going to test now is revive and Dregs of the Pit. So let me die again. Since it's 5 minutes, 300 seconds, 5 minutes, same thing. I'm not able to get that effect of Rage of Lazarus again, so I'm going to die this time. So I could be able to revive myself. I see there right now. It's great to use the Lazarus Pit, revive myself. And I see that green thing on the floor there. If I go on it, I'm going to get heals. See? So much heals I get. It restores up to 50% HP. So yeah, guys. Let's come into the end of the video here, guys. I hope this fire tank tutorial video was very helpful. I'll maybe have a next fire tutorial video maybe next year. So make sure to look out for that video. You know, they might update the game and change some stuff again with allies and maybe artifacts, you never know. So with that being said, guys, you guys have a blessed day. Blessings, guys, and protection to you guys all. And I'll see you guys in my next DCUO video. You guys take care. Peace.